Mine's a little bit different. I'm just going to scoot this stuff over here. I'm going to start from the bottom up again. So, unlike Zach, I wore a First Light Long John. This is their warmer one.
So it's like the
furnace. Yep, yeah. The furnace Long John pant. Super, super warm. These are heavy. These probably weigh more than his puffy pants.
Yep.
They actually do.
And the good thing about the puffy pants is I can take them on and off all day long.
I'm stuck.
Those things, he's either getting naked or he's stuck.
And negative two with wind chill, I'm not taking these off ever.
You didn't even want to take a shit.
No, never. I didn't take these off to go to sleep. I just left my whole kit on.
Yeah.
So these are an awesome late season piece. They are really, really, really warm. So like a guy like Zach would just be horrible. You'd have the nut butter going on instantly.
Those would be like if I was a tree stand guy.
Oh yeah.
If I was a tree stand guy,
stationary.
I'd have those on.
So I can hike and walk in these, and the cool thing about the KUIU pants is they do have a zip to kind of let out some heat. I did get warm when you're hiking around, especially with an SDP on top, long johns, and then the pants I had on over these. You're gonna get warm when you're walking, especially when we're packing out and you pack boots. You're not the most athletic at that point.
You're a little clunky.
You're a little clunky, and you're gonna get heat. You're gonna get hot. But when you're stationary, when you're glassing for long periods of time, I'm really glad that I have a long john on. So just to declutter, as I talked about a piece, I'm gonna drop it off. Moving on down here to the pant. This is the Axis hybrid pant, and big fan of these pants. I've worn these now for a couple seasons in a row after that modern deer season here in Washington, which is mid to late October going into late season November, mid to late November. Last year I wore these in my Idaho elk hunt in November. It was November 5th to the 15th. And then this year, November 12th to the 20th, underneath, or on top of my long john, excuse me. So this was my bottom layering piece, which is the Access hybrid pant. This is in KUIU Vias, and big fan of these pants.
They're like a fleece lined pant, right?
Again, yeah, fleece lined, good tip there. They are a fleece lined pant. And the cool thing about all the KUIU pants is that you do have this hip vent. So you just pull that down, and now you can vent out. Zach does talk about these a lot on different pants, like First Light, and then also Stone Glacier. They have a huge, they don't have that webbing. So you can just completely open up and kind of dump heat at a much rapid pace than these ones. They're kind of limited. The one thing I will add about the KUIU having the webbing is it will stop from debris falling in if you're stalking with a bow, if you're kind of on the ground crawling, or just going through pine needles, whatever it is. You're not going to get pine needles, branches, sticks in there.
Yeah, I'm constantly digging stuff out of my pants in the summertime, but like I just, once I sit down and whatever, I take my boots off and I start kicking my legs out.
Yep, exactly.
Not, like you said, not the biggest deal, but it is nice to not have to worry about it.
Yep. So that was my bottom base layer. I'm going to move up now. This is the long sleeve Gila. Thank you for the shout out saying Gila is not correct punctuation or pronunciation.
There you go.
There you go. I got it. So long sleeve Gila on top, so next to skin. Not the merino wool like the Zach's next of skin. I ran the merino for a long time and just kind of get itchy when I get hot with them. So I went to a synthetic this year, full synthetic next to skin, the Gila, and loved it. I do notice that you do get that synthetic smell after a couple days, especially in the heat. But when you have so many layers on and when you're just comfortable with the dudes that you're around, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I'm gonna get stinky after 10 days, so they still love me for it. So long sleeve Gila next to skin.
This is that's like a super lightweight.
It is.
So like, if you were cold at all, you could get a synthetic that's a heavier weight.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah, absolutely. So instead of the heavier weight next to skin, I just had an extra mid-layer piece that we'll get to. So next to skin, Gila, long sleeve, and then on top of the Gila is, it's a like head-to-head SDP strong fleece. Like, I don't know which one I would dump. Probably this one, but I love this piece. Just as like, it's a close second to the Super Down Pro. So this is the KUIU Strong Fleece 260. Absolute amazing piece. All three of us just love these pieces. It's something that we've all found that really fits into our kit, and it's pretty rare. Like, Zach and I's kits do vary. Bobby's varies a bit, and then we've all come to agree that the strong fleece and the SDP are just like must-haves.
Yep.
So that's on top of my Next to Skin. This is my mid-layer, like primary mid-layer piece, is the KUIU Strong Fleece 260. They do make a 280, and it's a full zip. I might try that out for 2023.
So like our first two pieces on tops are fairly similar.
Yeah, fairly similar.
Fairly similar.
Yours
is even lighter than mine.
Little bit, yeah. So, before I would go straight to the SDP, I do have an option with the shell. This is the KUIU Guide top here, and it is a shell. So, if you are getting a little bit of weather, if you're getting a little bit of rain, you're getting a little bit of snow, you're gonna completely eliminate the chance of getting wet to your strong fleece with this shell. You will last hours in the snow, direct weather in this. Now, if we're talking Western Washington monsooning rain, you're not going to want to be just standing in it. You're going to want to start
legit rain gear.
Exactly. You're going to need legit rain gear. Start getting to a shelter, getting out of the elements. But the wind and snow that we were dealing with in Montana, you could do 10 hours in this. Just like that dry, just sleet type of snow. It's not going to get through this. The wind's going to kind of dry it off. It's going to bounce off. It's not going to sit there and then melt and then soak through in a short period of time. You're going to be fine in this. This was a big benefit of having a shell like this. And notice that Zach doesn't have the shell type of piece. Just more mid layers, right to puffy.
Yep.
I didn't wear this every day, but it was definitely in my backpack or in my kit or in the truck, ready for use. And I did wear it several times. But it's just not like a staple to my kit in this late season. It's just one of the pieces that I do enjoy having. And I will always have this available to put on.
Yeah, I had a rain layer, a rain jacket with me, like in the truck, and then like just kind of like watching the weather. If I thought it was gonna get bad, I would have just thrown it in my backpack to protect my Super Down Pro from getting wet.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like Jeff said, I've never been a big soft shell jacket person. I've tried them. It's just a piece that I found leaving at home.
Yeah.
Or leaving in my tote. It just never came with me. So I just kind of said, okay, no more.
I could get like during modern and stuff, I could get away with just going Gila Strong Fleece and then the Guide, and then just having my Super Down Pro in the backpack at all times. And I truly do. This never leaves my backpack. If it's August, they can attest to it. From August to late season, this is in my backpack every single trip at all times.
Yep.
And
it's a sleeping bag. In emergency situations.
100%.
Like,
and I had one of those with Chris McCallum last year.
Yep.
And I was super glad that I had this. And he had his Kenai. And this is way warmer. Kenai is a little bit even heavier than this, which is mind-blowing. And this is 3 times the heat of a Kenai. But yeah, I can wear this even in the cold weather, modern stuff, on top of the strong fleece, be out hiking around all day, even hiking, and then when I stop, get cold, and I start to glass, I can just throw this right over the top, or I can take this off, put the SDP on for a long glassing session. Just a nice little piece that I've found works for me. Not going to work for you, might not, might work for you. Okay, back to the holy grail here. This is the KUIU Super Down Pro. It's have some miles on it. It's turning brown.
Yeah. It was black.
I will never wash this thing. I've never washed it. I don't even know how to wash it. I'm sure you have to. What's that special washing called?
The down. Like there's like a down detergent. You gotta put the little balls in there so that it breaks it all up and doesn't get all clumpy.
I'll never trust it. I'll just let it ride.
Just air it out.
Just air it out. Hang it up. Air it out. This is in the Gunmetal Gray Super Down Pro. They did update it. It's different than Zach's. So the shell material is a little bit different. Zach's is a 2022 version. Mine is 2020, I think. You can start to see I'm getting holes and tears and rips in here. It is not a bomb-proof shell. Like it is. I'm starting to fray on ends here.
Even though it isn't a bomb-proof shell, you beat the hell out of it.
Beat the piss out.
And it is still extremely functional.
It is. Yeah. I don't have any major failures.
No.
I just have some pieces that are starting to fray here.
Yeah.
You know, I got some holes up here, probably from around a fire. Here's one right here.
Yeah.
But like I had this on when I was processing my buck next to a fire. Like I have this as a hunting piece. I'm gonna hunt in this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just treat it like it's.
It.
Yeah. No. I'll beat the piss out of it, hunt as hard as I can in it, and when it's time for a new one, I will gladly. I would pay double for this. Like, it's a piece to my kit that I have found that is absolutely a necessity to me. I can't do much, like, without it. Like, it sounds crazy, but I would
your safety
never,
blanket.
It is. It's a 44 mag in Grizzly Country. It's that piece of mind, and it's a piece of gear that I've literally found that is an absolute staple to me. And I've been telling Zach about it for years, and he finally got one, and we're in agreement.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
He sold me on getting it. I had the First Light Uncompadre for a long time.
Great piece, dude.
And I still have it. It's still in my tote. I still love it. It's just that thing has really been beat to shit. It's been burned. It's been all
synthetic.
Kinds.
So it's not a down.
And it is
so
synthetic.
it just got the weight, but it's bomb.
Yep. So it's heavy, but it's a great piece. And then I have the First Light Brooks, which is their down. Jacket, but it's like the lightweight one, so it's not the big Chamberlain, big huge guy that Bob has.
That we did a comparison on.
Yep.
If you want to see a comparison of the First Light Chamberlain next to the Super Down Pro, we talk about price, we talk about weight, we talk about durability, packability. We have a big deep dive side by side of those two pieces, which is like the First Light's flagship puffy jacket versus the KUIU's flagship. Until 2022, KUIU just came out with a KUIU burner parka.
Yeah.
Off to the kind of like accessory pieces, just like Zach was saying, I did have a neck gaiter. I use this one basically every day. As soon as you get out of the truck in Montana, when it's that cold and wind chill, you have to protect your exposed skin. Whether the tips of your nose, the cheeks, your lips, they'll instantly start getting like windburn, chapped. So pull this up, get out of the wind, and just protect that exposed skin. We had a warning on our phone one morning, and it said exposed skin could get frostbite in 30 minutes. And it's like, that's no bullshit. We're not used to that here in Western Washington, where it's 25 to 30, and we're like, oh, it's freezing. No, it's negatives with wind chills, and you can get frostbite in minutes. So cover up those exposed skin, especially tips and nose, cheeks, that kind of thing. I did have a liner glove. This is the Strong Fleece glove from KUIU. Just a nice little lightweight glove. At least get protect the skin, kind of wear them as you're hiking around, glassing. And then if you start getting super cold, inside the liner glove, I would just put on, actually I don't remember the name of this, so as I'm editing it, I'll drop the name below so you guys can check it out. I think it's like the
Blizzard or something like that.
It's their big dog. It's a big glassing mitt.
Glommet.
Yeah, huge thing. So, got a pointer finger. You can pull a trigger if you wanted to, and you still have the dexterity to grab things rather than just having a big mitten where they're all together. I don't know if it makes a big difference.
I probably wouldn't recommend trying to pull a trigger with that thing on, but you could.
You could, for sure, if you fit it in there. But you can still grab things. You still have dexterity with your fingers and thumbs and stuff like that to pick up binos. So as I was saying, you still have the dexterity with a nice big mitt on to protect your hands. Zach, you were wearing something similar.
Yeah, I had with me my First Light down glassing mittens as well for like when we would sit down and just like really start to get behind the glass. I didn't wear them as much in Montana because we didn't really get to that big point where we sat down all day.
We were on our way.
Yeah,
we killed two.
Exactly. we got to a point and immediately found deer and went and killed them.
Yeah.
But like,
poor us.
Yeah, it really sucked. But on like our modern trip, I wore those glassing down
that was
mittens
glass
a lot.
intensive.
Yes, we were sitting there for 10-hour days.
Yeah,
just
4 days straight,
hammering glass. So I do love the like down mittens. For this Montana trip, I did go and buy a really heavy duty pair of outdoor research mittens.
Oh yes,
that were just gnarly. I mean, they were those.
Yep.
They look like big snowboarding mittens.
Yeah.
And so like I did buy those in case I needed them. I wore them around camp a couple times when we were just like doing stuff when it was really windy and like, you know, getting the trailer back hooked up to the truck, touching the metal that's just been frozen, stuff like that. I did have those with me, but while we were out in the field, I didn't really have a need for them.
And I think those are certain kind of things that you can't overlook when you're doing a big late season hunt like this, like fingers toes, hands, neck gaiters, beanies for the top, for ears. Those little pieces are really the ones that are like you're gonna overlook.
Yep.
That are gonna save your butt. Like I couldn't imagine being away from the truck and your two buddies are glassing comfortably and you're the one that you can't get warm. Like your feet are cold.
So your binos are just stuck in one position because your hands are too cold to move them. So you're sitting there and you're trying to move it with your face and your nose, and you're just not going to be nearly as effective.
No. So invest in a nice glove. It's leather on the bottom so you can grab things. It's not going to get soaking wet and then you're ruined. Like the glassing mitt, I would imagine, strictly glassing.
Yep.
Like they're in the name.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything else with
You
those
can't
things.
grab things with them. They're going to get wet and you can't do that.
Yep.
But that's not what they're made for. He puts them in his backpack. When he gets to a glassing situation, get them out, and then you can kind of just sit here and glass, and you can move with them, put them in pockets, and then your hands are going to stay warm.
Yep.
These ones a little bit more rugged, durable, and still super warm. They're big, durable gloves, and lots of insulation. On the top here, I just have a orange Pea and Wild hat. Shameless plug, use coupon code YouTube, and you'll save money on any of our hats or any of our stuff on the YouTube store, or Pea and Wild store. And then a Go Hunt, just knitted beanie. Cover the ears, again, cover all that open skin, or else
keep the heat from escaping out your head.
Yeah,
that's the big one.
Big one, yeah. You lose dump heat quick.
Yep, head and feet. If you can keep those two things warm and your hands warm, you'll be a pretty happy camper.
Yep.
So, whoa,
woo,
nice.
Yeah. Speaking of feet, I did have something super similar to Zach's pack boot, except for Hoffman, I was wearing a Kenetrek Grizzly 10-inch.
Yep.
That is my boot. Super similar to
basically
this.
the same boot, just different brands.
Exactly. Different branding on them. Super similar though. Just the Grizzly 10-inch by Kenetrek. And again, I wore crispy Nevadas for day one with the Kuyu Yukon Gator, and then quickly realized that it's not going to cut it for just heat. We were super agile, like we were taking care of Bob's butt, packing it down to the truck, and we felt athletic and felt good. You know, and Bob was right to the pack boot. He wasn't messing around.
Yep, he went straight to it.
And then during that, me and Zach were both doing the whole, shit, I can't feel my toes.
Yeah. Yep.
So the next morning, we went to pack boots and never looked back, and then the rest of the trip, we were in pack boots and totally fine. Never once got cold.
Nope.
But I had to try at least with the Nevadas because it's just way more comfortable.
Yes.
You can feel, you can hike, you can kind of like feel the ground as it moves and kind of just side hill and feel like you're one with the earth. But pack boots, you're not.
Okay.
All right, that is my late season. That's my late season kit.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Make sure you check out our Pea and Wild podcast on Spotify and everywhere you can find podcasts. And then again, if you use coupon code YouTube, you can save money on our Pea and Wild merch store, where you can find hats, knives, that fancy vest that Zach was showing you, all sorts of other stuff. So
hit that subscribe button right down there.
Thank you so much.
See you next time.